Hey guys, it's me, Schlee. Welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you what I pack in my lunchbox. To start off, I'm going to show you what I pack my lunch in. So I like to use this lunchbox and these little containers for sauces or dips. They are the perfect size and they fit into my lunchbox, which is so handy. My actual lunchbox is this Bento style one. I got it at TJ Maxx. I love that there are 4 compartments and they are the perfect size for packing different types of foods. The first thing I'll be making for myself in this video is a corned beef sandwich. I did film this video on the week of St. Patrick's Day and we had some corned beef left over from our St. Patrick's Day meal, so I wanted to use that up. I'm starting off with a slice of provolone cheese, just tearing that in half and then putting 1/2 on each slice of this sourdough bread. This is going to keep the bread from getting too soggy. And then I'm going to top that with some little pieces of corned beef that I just chopped up from what we had left over, and I'm piling that pretty high as you see. I'm not being shy. I'm going to put some sauerkraut on this sandwich as well because sauerkraut goes so well with corned beef. And again, to help this sandwich not be soggy, I'm going to squeeze the liquid out of the sauerkraut as I take it out of the jar, just using the fork to press it against the jar itself. And I'm adding the sauerkraut to the top of the corned beef. Again, putting plenty of that on there because I'm not afraid of flavor. Speaking of flavor, I'm then drizzling over some of this sweet and spicy mustard that I made for myself. I just whipped it up really quick with some honey and some cayenne pepper and some mustard, of course. Then I'm just going to put the other slice of bread on top and cut the sandwich in half. Here's an up-close shot. I think that looks really delicious with the mustard and everything on there. This sandwich also fit perfectly into the biggest compartment of my lunchbox, which was so satisfying. As for the other compartments, I'm going to put some grapes in the next biggest compartment as my fruit for the day. I'm using red grapes. I think they are superior to green grapes. I'm also adding in some carrot sticks as well as some cucumber slices. I like to just slice up a whole cucumber at the beginning of the week and then use it throughout the week. It makes it easier for me. Into this little sauce container that I mentioned earlier, I'm going to put some ranch dip. This is actually plain Greek yogurt with ranch powder seasoning in it. If you're looking for a lower calorie but higher protein substitute for ranch dressing, I highly recommend this. It's delicious and super easy to whip up. And last but not least, we gotta have some dessert. And I am packing myself this miniature chocolate bar. This is by the brand Moo, and this one is the graham cracker flavor. They have a bunch of different flavors, and so far I've liked all the ones that I've tried, but this one is one of my favorites. And this size of chocolate bar fits perfectly into my lunchbox. How satisfying is that? And that is the last thing I packed for myself, so here's an overview of everything I have. Moving on to the second lunch of this week, I'm making myself a chicken salad flatbread wrap. I'm using this flatbread that I homemade myself, and then I just popped it in the freezer and took it out when I needed it. Super handy. On top of that, I'm putting some lettuce that is kind of mangled because I was having trouble getting it off the actual head of lettuce, so I had to go Savage Schlee and rip it apart. So I put that on the bottom of the wrap, again, to keep it from being soggy, and then I topped it with a generous portion of my homemade chicken salad. And if you guys are interested in a recipe for that or anything in this video, please let me know. I'd be happy to share. So I put that in the main compartment of my box, and for one of my sides, I'm giving myself some pepper jack cheese. I meant to cut this into cubes, but they turned out more like rectangles, which is fine, because as we know, rectangles have a lot more flavor than cubes. I'm also giving myself some fresh blackberries. These were so delicious, nice and sweet and tart. And last but not least, again, we've got to have some dessert. So today I'm going for these miniature chocolate chip cookies. These are soft baked and they are so cute. You guys see how small and tiny they are? But they are packed with chocolate chip cookie goodness and flavor. You cannot go wrong with these, I promise. And that was the last thing for this box. So I'm going to give you an overview again. Not to brag here, but I think Gordon Ramsay may be getting jealous of my culinary skills. And that's it. That's another lunch done. Moving on to day number 3. This was another leftovers day. I made some barbecue chicken meatballs and I decided to take the leftovers for lunch at work the next day. I ended up packing myself 5 of these, which seems like kind of a lot, but these were a little bit on the smaller side. I did top those with some extra barbecue sauce off camera, and then I'm gonna add in some blackberries again for my fruit. I had some more of those, so I wanted to use them up. As you guys know, I really don't like wasting food. Even if that means my lunches are a little bit repetitious, I'd rather do that than have to waste anything. Speaking of repetitious, I'm gonna give myself some more vegetables. Again, just cucumber slices and baby carrots, along with a little container of ranch dip to go with those. And you could, of course, switch out the ranch dip for anything that you wanted. You could use hummus. That would be really tasty here if you wanted to try that. And then for my dessert, I decided to include this little package of dried apricots. I've had this in my pantry for a while, and these are not my favorite, I'll be honest, but again, I didn't want to waste them, so I decided to toss these in there. And as I was trying to get this overview shot, yes, some of the blackberries fell onto the meatballs and got covered in barbecue sauce, so I just took those out and ate them really quickly. They weren't terrible, but blackberries with barbecue sauce is not something I think I'm going to be trying in the future again. So for day number 4, we have more leftovers. This is some leftover barbecue chicken pizza that I homemade with the extra barbecue sauce from the chicken meatballs. And I cut it up into all kinds of varying slices to fit it into my lunchbox. I gave myself 4 slices of that, and I did sort of have to bend and fold them just to get them to fit in there, but that's okay. On the side for this day, I'm giving myself some more red grapes. And you guessed it, some cucumber slices and some baby carrots. I really don't mind repeating these because I think they are delicious, especially with that Greek yogurt ranch dip. Oh, and I did use some ranch for my pizza as well. That is a classic and delicious flavor combination. For dessert, which is by far the most exciting part of this lunch, I am having a homemade brownie. My sister made these, and as you can see, they look amazing. They've got that crinkly top, and they're so fudgy and delicious. But I did not give myself this big chunkster brownie for my lunch. I went with a more modest, smaller brownie because I thought that was better. So I put that in the dessert side, and this is my lunch all packed up. I think this might be the best looking lunch of the whole video. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. I can tell you this was the most delicious lunch that I had all week long, and to prove it, here is a shot of my forehead in my office at work enjoying this lunch. And last but not least, we have day number 5, and for this day I went with an Italian sandwich. I'm starting off with this ciabatta roll, which I sliced in half, and I'm going to apply a very liberal amount of this sandwich spread my sister made. This is mayo, mustard, some different spices and herbs, and it was so delicious. Then I'm taking a slice of pepper jack cheese and just halving that and putting 1/2 on each of the pieces of bread. For the sandwich filling, I'm going to use this salami trio that I got at Aldi. I'm a big fan of this one. I've had it before. I think these 3 different types have great flavor. And I'm just layering about 3 pieces of each different type on the sandwich, just back and forth, trying to make it as even as possible. And I'm topping that with some banana pepper rings. These are so good and they make a great addition to really any sandwich, but especially an Italian sandwich. And last but not least, I'm just going to top this with the other half of the bread and cut it in half with a good old stabby stabby. And here's a cross section so you guys can see. You got that nice, soft and fluffy ciabatta bread, sandwich spread, banana peppers, and all that other goodness. So that's going in the main compartment of my lunchbox. Again, it fit perfectly, which is just so satisfying. I have my standby cucumbers and carrots along with my ranch dip. And then I was finishing up the last of the grapes on this day. As you guys know, me and Amber live together. It's just the 2 of us, so we cannot buy that much variety since there's only 2 people at home to eat it. And then for my dessert on this day, I decided to pack myself one of these Jenny's coconut bites, but Amber was in the kitchen at the time. I was packing my lunch, and she wanted to help me by throwing this into my lunchbox from across the kitchen. So here's her attempt at that.
Oh, it went in though. Did you see that?
You have one more shot.
Dang it. Wait, let me try again. Dang it.
As you guys see, she got super close, but no cigar. Maybe next time. And that's it. That's the last thing for this lunch. This one is another looker. I mean, just look at all that. Absolutely stunning. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration for lunches or maybe just meals in general. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!